Alright, looks like we're ready to go. Just making sure that everything's caught up. Okay, good. There's a lot of latency on this. That's brilliant. I can't wait for that to screw me over. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a pleasant... What a good start. Hope you're having a pleasant evening. I hope you're having a nice weekend. It's going to be a very nice chill stream today because it's, well, it's midnight and I'm tired, and so... yeah, I don't have the full energy to be as crazy as I want to be, but, well, you know, I could still answer questions and I could still give a nice, chill atmosphere. Thank you, Zeus, my audio-visual manager by the sides of things. I'm very glad that someone's checked for that, because it's one of the things I panic about the most. Okay, well, hello. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming, whoever's here, and thank you for everyone that's listening post-stream that couldn't make it. Well, first of all, I guess I've got to say thank you so much for all of the support that you have given me so far. It's actually quite unbelievable, because, well, I never expected to have this many people interested in this in my track, honestly. You know, there was this point where Shiro mentioned that by the end of this week there'd be 20,000 plays on the song, and I was like, I doubt that. But I think that the interest will fizzle out, but here we are, you know. A week later, we're now at 23,000 plays, which is like unprecedented for what I was expecting. So the support that you've been giving me is, you know, amazing. So thank you very much. This is a lovely little bit of Q&A stream, nice and chill. Hello everyone that's, you know, slowly making their way in. It's nice to see so many people. Hopefully I can get around to answering as many questions as possible. I'll answer the ones that came up quite a lot. Actually, I've got a Word document already for this, and I'm just going to slide up here really quickly. There we go. So, the first question, which I've kind of already answered with my actions, will you release the instrumental with the SVP? Can I do a cover? Can I do etc, etc, etc? And the answer is absolutely. Go crazy. Do we want? The instrumental and the SVP are in the original song's description, as well as in the description of this. It is the top link on my Linktree page, so it's pretty obvious which one it is, so just go ahead and click to it. You'll get both the instrumental and the SVP. Now, the fun story about this instrumental is the project is very old. I started this song back in 2020 when I wanted me to sing it. So I got as far as the first chorus, and I was like, actually, you know what? I don't think this is best for me. I'm going to leave it for a bit, and I'm going to come back to it. And so in 2023, I came back to it, and I was like, you know what? Gumi could suit this song, and so we slowly started developing it. But because of that, there are so many different assets, samples, VSTs across like 3 different hard drives and solid state drives. So when I tried to open it and get an instrumental for it, I think it was a few days ago, I just refused to play and refused to properly open. So I was like, well, damn, what am I going to do about that? So thankfully I sent a older version of the instrumental to Zeus when we were doing tuning, which had about 80% of what the actual final track was. So I spent all of today finding all of the samples that were missing and slamming them back in and completely rewriting the bridge section so it kind of sounds like what it was, without having to record my choir bit 32 times over. So it's 95% of the way there, but I think it will do a good job. And it sounds a bit crunchy, but let's be honest, that's probably to the benefit of the song. It's a bit of a crunchy song. So, yep, the instrumental is there. The SVP, Sue's very kindly flattened that down for us. So you have all of the information that was there, apart from all of the intricate tuning bits that we did together, because, oh boy, to get Gumi to sound the way that she does in our track, it took a lot, both pre-processing and post-processing, and there's a whole thing I can get into, but I'll get into it later potentially, but we'll see how it goes. The second question that came up a lot, which I'm very glad to see, is this song or the artwork inspired by Cult of the Lamb? So I never played Cult of the Lamb. I want to, quite clearly. What happened was, when I was looking for people to commission art for this song, I was like, okay, I kind of know what the style I wanted to go with, and I was looking through, all of my associates and friends and mutuals that I had on Twitter, being like, who's the best person that would be suited for this? And then Shiro liked one of my tweets. I was like, oh, well, that's perfect. And then I looked at one of their works, and it was a Cult of the Lamb Last Supper deal, and I was like, that's the style I want. That's the aesthetic that I wanted. And so it kind of started there and kind of blossomed out into being a lot more inspired by Cult of the Lamb than you thought. But the song was originally written just for the song's sake rather than inspired by anything. But I'm more than happy that it's been adopted by the community for obviously more reasons than just the plays, but also just the intense connection that someone has to this song. I think that's more important to me than any statistic, even though I like looking at statistics. The fact that you've had such a meaningful creation of this song and just have it stuck in your head is exactly what I want from my music, so thank you. I enjoyed the one that came through, one of the people asked in the comments, are you secretly a famous pop producer or something? I'm not secretly a pop producer, but I'm definitely not a famous pop producer. So apart from this alias, I also am a producer and songwriter for Ocelot Publishing, which do Asian pop, K-pop, J-pop, sometimes Western pop briefs. So I write a lot of earwormy, catchy music, both as a lyricist, top liner, and a producer. So I do all of that, and I've been building up all this brilliant repertoire of songs, which I can't release because of licensing agreements and making sure that it's private until it's released with a band, etc., etc., etc. So I've garnered all of this experience, but there was nothing to really show it publicly. So I thought, why not just do something else, just write something that is in the style of these things, but not give it to all the lovely people that I work with, and give it to a possible future company, but give it to a suitable Vocaloid or a synth fee or what have you. This idea came to me after Plaything won the Miku Expo concert. People got the interest in that, and I was like, well, yeah, I might as well do something. So I started redeveloping the song, getting it as catchy as possible, and here we go. I really, really enjoy writing earworms, and I really, really enjoy writing bangers that you can just lose yourself to so easily. Just when you're making a cup of tea, like I often do, you just strut around the kitchen, just feeling like you're an absolute diva. But the song takes you to a different realm, and you just get lost into it. It's my most favorite thing, and the fact that I can do that with my own songs is something that I would have never considered when I was earlier in my songwriting career. So I'm very blessed with that, and I'm very blessed that you all feel the same way. What the hell did you use to make this song? Well, as I said before, the project won't open properly, so I can't show you exactly, but I use a plethora of VSTs and plugins and samples and all sorts. But one of the things that I use quite often is a sample pack that I made called Mizu's One Man Choir. The link for it is in the description, as you'll see in a second. It's a pack of chords of me singing various different notes within the choir thing. The choir bit in the bridge was all me, all of those voices were me. So it has quite a good effect once you actually properly mix it in. So it's very useful for layering. It's also in the layers for the drop. The big brick wall of sound. There's definitely my choir bits in there to really boost the sound. It's so useful in so many different ways, and I've used it for personal projects, for business projects, for everything. And it's not had a massive amount of success when it comes to commercial, but that's fine, because I think in the end I was probably asking for a bit too much money. And to be honest, it's a very good tool for new producers to use. And so, because of that, for the next 24 hours, if you quickly use the code AllHailGumi at checkout, when you go into the link, you can just get this pack for free for the next 24 hours. No catches, no selling your soul to be or anything. Just take it, because I want people to use it, and I want people to develop their ability to produce. And if it's used as an educational tool, perfect. That's what I want for it. If you use it in your projects in the future, perfect. Let me know. I want to hear it, how you use it, and be like, that's cool. So yeah, let's see what you come up with it. And again, it's only for the next 24 hours. So, and also tell me if it doesn't work. Someone do it now and tell me if it doesn't work, because then I've got to very quickly got to fix things on stream, which is always a delightful thing. What was the last question that I had written down, prepared? What's next? Well, the next thing that I'll be doing, I've got a few projects to finish off, with deadlines either next week or the week after. So once they're all done away, I'm kind of free on terms of projects to work on. So me and Sus will probably start working on a song called Amoureux, which is a lovely, very saccharine, upbeat pop song, hopefully using Lin Lai synthy, because, you just want to do whatever you want, microphone. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. So hopefully using Lin Lai as the synthy for it, because Lin Lai's voice fits perfectly with the song, and it just feels such like childhood joy when he sings on it. So hopefully, in terms of projects for Mizu, that would be the next thing. Obviously, I'm going to ride on the wave of euphoria that this song has got for a bit, and then once that runs out, I'll start writing something new. Okay, I think that's everything that I've got in terms of questions that I got from comments previously. Let me really quickly think. Are you planning to make more tracks like this? Absolutely. Don't worry about it. It might be a bit different to this kind of track, though. When I write, I kind of write anything and everything. As you can imagine, I went from plaything to this. Doesn't make any sense. But if you want the tracks, I'll make the tracks. I'm always happy to make an earworm. I'm always happy to make a banger. Whatever it takes. So yeah, start asking your questions if you've got any goes. Anything goes. Obviously, if it's related to Pray to Me. If it's not related to Pray to Me, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the night goes. Mizu cover when? Well, now that I do actually have a working instrumental for this, and depending on whether or not my actual mic arm will behave itself, it's a possibility. It's not quite in the right range for me. I can do the last bit pretty nicely if I drop in an octave. It's pretty sick. But it's a possibility that I can do like a little snippet and then release that on like socials rather than do a full thing, because I've done that before. I did that before with Plaything and it worked really well, and I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, who knows? Let me really quickly find out what did Gumi do to receive her eldritch powers. Oh, I mean, she was just she drew a pentagram on the floor. She placed various like a leek a banana, an orange, some ice cream, some sake on the floor on each of the points, and just so much of the Eldritch Horrors from the Krypton Lloyd fan base, and the lore, and harness the powers to become this epic demon that she is. Honestly, so true. My calm is absolutely all over the place. My house is haunted. It has to be. It didn't do this at all when I was using it for the last 2 hours. But now that I'm actually on camera, and it wants to do whatever it wants. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm just going to hold on to it and look like a professional for a bit. How were you introduced to Vocaloid, or what was the first song you remember hearing? So I was introduced to Vocaloid a very, very long time ago. Probably over 10 years ago now. I don't remember what the first song was saying, but it's one of those songs that gets caught up in your YouTube feed, and you're like, oh, what's this? And then obviously the popular ones that come through, the 11 polkas, the triple backers, all of those ones that come through, and you're like, oh, you're kind of interested, and then you get really interested and really invested, and then you start getting to listen to the popular songs, and like, okay, I want to know everything about these guys. And that was coming around the same time that I was starting to think about producing music for myself. So yeah, I thought, do you know what, there is a possibility that I can do this, make some Vocaloid songs with my own music. So I started my own alias. Oh, when was it? 2016? I think it was 2016, and started making Vocaloid songs right back then. None of them were that good, but in hindsight they're not good, but at the time I was really impressed with what I did. And you know what, there were still some great ideas, just the production was a bit off, but experience gets you quite a long way. So I started doing that. I really had to start having fun, and then obviously wrapped up in Vocaloid news and how it was developing and all the interesting ones that came through. I met the 2 moderators in the chat right now through Vocaloid, who turns out they're my best friends. So thank you for Vocaloid for that. I think we'll see how the day goes out. And yeah, I started doing that, and then in 2019 I stopped doing Vocaloid music and started working on my own solo projects with my own voice. So I did that. I'm still doing that. And then in 2023 I thought, you know what, let's write a Miku song for why not? Let's go for the hell of it. And then that song turned out to be Plaything, and now here we are. It's been one hell of a journey, and it's never really left me, even if I've been interested in waves. And that's what Plaything's about, is about being invested as a teenager and being such a pivotal part of your formative years. But it's not a pivotal part of your adult years, but it's always a part of you, and that's what Plaything's about. And I'm honestly very impressed that I came up with something like that. Let me really quickly look through the comments. Would it be alright if I made a choreography dancer cover of Pray to Me? Absolutely. Do it. There's someone else on Twitter doing it as well. So you're not the first person to ask, so it's not a weird question after all. Do what you want. Make a dance cover of it. Go crazy. Obviously you credit it. That's the least you can do, and if you're doing that, that's all I ask for. Go crazy. Absolutely. Out of all of the works that you've uploaded on your channel, where would you recommend as newer fans to go next? What would you feel you were the most proud of? I think Carbon Heart would be the next one to go to. Because it's Slaria, synth ticks all the boxes. It's also a very nice song to... it's just a nice song to listen to in the end. Quite different to Pray to Me, as you could figure out. Oh no, you better say the right thing. I definitely didn't say the right thing, but we'll find out. But Carbon Heart is the one that you probably know the least. Because obviously Plaything's got hundreds of thousands of views, yada yada yada. So Carbon Heart is the next one. definitely go to my Spotify or my SoundCloud to check out the music that is not on my YouTube. Quite a lot of the music that I've been a part of over the last 4 years have been collaborative works and have been uploaded elsewhere or with other accounts or with other, people. If I was featured on it, I didn't upload it, they did, etc., etc. So make sure you check out those areas to see, what's your fancy. There's some lovely orchestral work, there's some EDM work, there's some pop stuff. Go crazy, do what you want. Don't go there if you don't fancy it. Do it, it's a free world. After that, I'm not very sure. Ceasus probably has an idea about what song they'd recommend, but they can tell me in the chat right now if they want, and then I'll be like, yes, that's a great idea, better than my idea. I'll shut up and let you take the reins. One thing that's very interesting is the fact that I tried to write Pray to Me for my voice, and the lyrics were pretty much the same, just gender swapped for the first bit, and I was like, how did I think that was a good idea? So I'm very glad that I pursued it with Gumi, or with any female Vocaloid, because female empowerment, making sure that they are idolized as they should be, because goddamn did they slay. My favorite vocal synth voices. Good question. Okay, so I use Dex quite a lot. I enjoyed making songs with Dex because it's a similar voice to me, so I could transpose myself onto that. In terms of listening, I love V-Flower. Anything that V-Flower is on, I just love the androgynous sound. I love the sound of the voice. It's it's great, and I wish that I could make a song with V-Flower that sounds any decent amount. Who else? Often it comes in waves in terms of preferences. Recently, I've been really on a Kagamine hit, because it's something about the Rinlen. It's the tone that kind of brings back like nostalgia from my teenage years, being like, I remember those times. The remix of Electric Heart, yeah, it's I think that's what I'm going for right now. Oh, they wanted me to say Drowning. Drowning was the first song that I ever released as Mizu. It was the first song that I properly released with my voice. It took a lot of development. It took a lot of everything. And it's 5 years old now at this point, I think, and my friends really like it, and I revisited it and I was thinking, what, that's actually it's alright, it was quite good, it's alright, I'll admit it, it's alright. It's a very nice storytelling one, it's you can see what where my journey has come in terms of my production, my songwriting, my vocal production, my vocal singing to begin with. Check out Drowning. It's the recommendations for my best friends and the moderators, and you got to pay attention to what the moderators are doing. Otherwise they'll ban you, and then I can't help you there. No, I don't think Drowning is the best song that I've done. No matter what Nye says. I don't think it's the best song that I've done, but that's fine. Whew. I'm very glad that I made this tea. Okay, I guess I gotta address Celebrate, since it's mentioned multiple times in the chat. Celebrate was a song that I did with the now defunct Vocaloid group, Project Overdose. I don't know if you know them. Let's think. I did technically 2 songs with them, and Celebrate was the first one that got a proper public release. And that is definitely one of those songs I look back at and think, okay, you didn't have a grip on it at that point, production-wise, but that's fine. It had its own. It's got a personality, that song. And no matter what, even if I think back on it and might not have them, the fondest memory of listening back to it is still a part of my journey, and that's the most important thing. It's a part of who I am now as a producer, and so I'm very thankful for it, despite the fact that I don't actively listen to that song anymore. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Pray. I mean, the fact that we've pretty much made a cult within the comment section of that song is something that I never expected. But, you know, I'm all for it. I'm definitely down for the gag. I'm definitely down for the bit. Okay, good questions here for Law. Who is Gumi's mama? Who does Gumi preach to her followers? What does Gumi preach to her followers? What will she kill God? Well, in my opinion, Gumi is overpowerful, and if Gumi isn't already a god, she definitely has the power to kill God, and I do not care which is the truth. Either way, she is all worshipping. I choose to believe her mother is Athena, the Greek god. Makes the most sense in terms of just the power and the force between Gumi and that she has within herself, the pure confidence and ability to slay anyone in her path. Oh, what tea am I drinking? Well, I'm just drinking a lovely Yorkshire tea. Relatively strong, 1 sugar for this entire gigantic mug. My go-to drink for any season, even the summer, because I'm crazy, because I don't know why. Tea's just nice, even when it's, humid and hot, and sometimes it just hits the right spot, even if you melt while drinking it. Now this is a good question from Seuss, because it's definitely one I probably mentioned a lot of times while working with him. Do you find synth voices easier or harder to use than humans? So it depends. In terms of working with my own voice compared to working with synth, I much prefer to work with my own voice, purely because of the accessibility. When I want to... Here's a great example, actually. I wanted to write a song that was for a small girl group, and I needed the deadline was relatively soon, and what I could have done was, outreach to a songwriter within the groups, quickly find one that was available for the time. I think it was over Christmas period, so there was not many people available, and then hopefully they have time to record everything and also write everything, record it, and send it to me. Then I've got to mix it and sort things in. Or I can grab and just drop her in with the lyrics and the ideas that I was coming up with as I was writing the song. Because quite often, when I start producing, I also start songwriting alongside of it. Just things come into your head, and then you can't ignore them. You got to write them down somehow. So then, I just plopped in there, and then did all the backing stuff, and then got one of my friends to do the rap, because the rapping in synth isn't as good as the singing. The singing you can get away with in terms of submitting it to a brief and not being thinking, you're going to go robot to sing this? So overall, it is a very good process to work with, and probably one that I'll do again when it comes to female vocals. Again, if there's not enough time, if there's no one available to help with me, it's good. It's a good for safety net, I guess. Sometimes you have to deal with the fact that synth that voice bank is that voice bank. You can't get it to do anything more. For example, I can get my voice to tonally sound quite different depending on what the tone of the voice of the person I'm trying to replicate is, or what would fit the song, etc., etc. And you don't have that type of manipulation. I mean, you do have the robustness of everything, but I can sound like a operatic singer, or I can sound like a pop punk mid-2000s American. So I have that ability to manipulate my voice, which you might be able to do a little bit with synth, but not convincingly, I guess. So I'm interested in the development of voice synthesis and see how that goes. And if anyone knows anyone that's interested in making a synth bank out of my voice, I'm not going to say no. If you've got contacts, let my people talk to their people, and we'll see what we can do. I'm very cool with fan art. There's been a couple of fan art coming through on Twitter. There's been a couple of ones, and it blows me away. And Shiro, who sadly can't be here because they've got to wake up early for the last day of their con tomorrow. I am almost certain that they're so behind it. So yes, please do fan art. Please do anything to do with this song. Covers, remixes, fan art, just general gushing. I don't care. Do what you want. Be creative with my track. And again, instrumental and SVP is all down there. To go creative. Learn how I produce things by listening to the instrumental and be like, oh, that's actually quite interesting. The way Mizu did this, that, and the other. I'll use that in a future song. Oh, I can hear the influences of the Mizu one-man choir pack, which is 100% free for the next 24 hours if you use the code AllHailGumi. Yep, go crazy. We hop onto the Teto train, definitely, probably, almost certainly. I love Teto. I love Teto's Utawa voice, and I love Teto's synth V voice. Gotta give it a Kisani Ted on there if you want as well. So, yeah. I'm definitely going to be interested in using Teto. Who else would I be interested in using? Hayden, I think. I wanted to make a Poeta song. Try and utilize Poeta's voice bank and use it in a way that's quite interesting. Like a nice acoustic country pop song. It's a bit touching, but using Poeta's bank, so it's a bit of a juxtaposition, but that kind of... it works in my head, so we'll see if it works in practice. But yeah, Teto Rose... I think when we put Rose's voice when we were making Pray to Me, and we put Rose in, I was like, okay. Slang, definitely. So Rose is definitely one of those ones I'd be definitely interested in looking at. But there's new ones coming out every now and again, and I'd love to be one of the first ones on even the beta stages of a new bank, because I learned so much from it, even though I'm not the main tuner in this project of myself. Solaria, yes, no, I've used Solaria once. I think the first time I used Synth at all was Solaria, and I was very, very impressed what I would do, what the bank did, and the fact that I was able to manipulate it myself, take it into Melodyne, which is a pitch correction software, and then mess around with the pitch to make it sound more human, and therefore, the slight inconsistencies and notes I can emphasize, and then shove it into the project, make it sound more human. Perfect, and then that's how Carbon Heart got made, and I fell in love with Solaria's voice, and I thought, yeah, Synth V, not bad, good job. Do you look up to any Vocaloid creators? I definitely did in my early years. I did a lot, mainly Western producers, because that was the music that spoke to me a lot. So it was it's going to be really weird saying this, considering I'm mutuals with all of these, I think, now. So it's, the Yaki P, the Lupin Circus, those ones I was like, okay, you're cool as hell. I'd love to be you one day, making all of these bangers. Oh my god. But in terms of inspirations and in terms of creation, it was only one aspect of a whole range of inspirations that I got from the... from music as a whole. And now I know all of those people. I mean, we're acquaintances for the most part, but we follow each other on Twitter, and that's that's good enough for me. It would really mean a lot to have that recognition from them, because that would be like a full circle moment. I mean, I'm not asking that you should spam them with the song. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be doing that, but it's your choice. That kind of full circle moment, being like, this person that I idolized at the beginning of my Vocaloid music career is now saying, "God damn, you're making good stuff." It'd be crazy, but it'll happen with time, I imagine. Especially if I keep going at this pace. No pressure. I'm just trying to think of other... the most consistently inspiring Vocaloid producer, and the one that I always reference to in terms of what's my favourite Vocaloid song, is Power Power P, and my favourite Vocaloid song being... oh no, is it Equation plus plus asterisk? I'm just trying to remember the symbols that come after it. That's my favourite Vocaloid song, without a doubt. I love the way the Power Power P produced, and you know, the amount of talent that guy had from just such a young age is incredible. And you know, I love the way that he did his productions. They were always so tight and, you know, so glued together, and oof, I loved it. Do you know what? I don't remember listening to most Ghost stuff. In regards to V-Synth projects, are you looking to betray the one tuner that I've stuck with for what must be 7 to 8 years, or, in other words, collab with any of the wider community? It is definitely something that I want to do. I'm very aware that my availability at the moment in time is not great. So, thank you, Atlas, for popping in. I definitely want to create with a wider V-Synth community, see who's available and see who wants to create something fun. Because obviously I can get all the production side of things. You know, I'm all good for that. Yeah, we'll see. You know, see what opportunities come up and see who comes available, who would be interested in working with me. You know, who would I be interested in working with, and whether you're not available. We'll see how it goes. But it's definitely an area that I want to dive into, because it's not one that I've experienced most, apart from Project Overdose all those years ago. So that'd be fun. It also, thank you for sharing your song to your boyfriend. Thank you very much. Yeah, share it as much people as you could. Shiro's. I hope they don't mind me telling this story, but it's absolutely a brilliant story, and you know, it blew me away, and you know, made me smile for like a good half hour. Shiro's father found the song on his own, just I think on YouTube recommendations, and then sent it to Shiro and be like, "Hey, this is good." And he's not a fan of, you know, vocal synths at all, but this song that he was a fan of, and you know, he really got into. And they told me all of this, and I was like, perfect. I don't care about anything anymore. I'm making songs for your dad and your dad alone for him to enjoy. And you know, it was an absolute delight. And you know, the fact that this song can reach that kind of audience at all is mind-blowing, and you know, it shows the real potential of what synthphy can be, because you know, it doesn't have to be all of these people within the fandom. It can reach outside of it and go to a Cult of the Lamb Discord and really make numbers there. And, you know, the possibilities are endless, and you know, it really makes me excited for the future. As you know, even with the controversial around the AI voices and, you know, the people that are muddying the waters in terms of what that means, the fact that this can, you know, is ethically sourced, you know, people are compensated and consented to their voices being used, and then make them sound good enough for people to really be invested in it without even thinking that this is a voice synthesizer singing. We're nearly there. We're nearly breaking through the mold, and I will make sure that I'm commercially viable for as much as possible. Will Gumi sacrifice the haters? Is she much of a sacrificer? I believe what she'll do is try and whip them into shape by any means necessary, with a lovely grin on her face. That'll be Gumi's tactic, I'd say. I'm so glad I found a bullwhip sound that was appropriate to the song, so I could just insert it with that nice whoosh. Makes me laugh every time I listen to it. Have I missed any questions? Have I missed anything? I don't think so. So how long have we been going for? My thought is probably too long. Yes, therapy. Very much therapy. Actually, yeah. How long have we been going for? About 40 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. Well, if you've got any more questions, really quickly tell them in the chat. I'll probably wrap this up relatively soon. Probably about 1:45. Just so I get a chance to finish the tea and also go to bed, because I've got things to do tomorrow. But yeah, I'm very excited what the future may hold and what could come next. Obviously, when all of these projects are done and dusted, I suddenly have this, void in front of me where I don't have some project to sink my teeth into. So I usually fill it up as soon as possible with something quite nice. So, are there any projects that you theoretically completed that you mayhaps not have realised simply because of age? And let me read that one again so I properly understand it. I'll really quickly answer this one quickly. If one creates fan art, where would the best place to share it to you? Twitter is the best place, because then I can share it with everyone and gush over it. Twitter is the best place. You can send it on to me on Instagram, DM me it, but Twitter's the best place for me to then publicly share it around and be like, look at this, it's so cool. Alright, back to Susie's question. Are there any projects that are theoretically completed that you mayhaps not have realised simply because of age? I believe he's talking about the projects that he really wants me to work on, despite the fact that they're very old and that I feel they're a bit of the time, and therefore I don't necessarily want to work with them. But there's a bunch of songs that I've previously submitted to briefs that never got anywhere, that I would, I'm definitely interested in creating into new tracks to give to you. The benefit of getting ones that are a bit more recent is that they sound a little bit better, and they're a bit more contemporary sounding, and I don't have to do a bunch of reworking, which takes forever, and I'm not very good at it. I'm much better at creating new stuff than going back to old stuff and making it sound shinier. And I and Sue's hitting on each other. Oh, you don't know the half of it. This has been going on for 7 years between those two. I swear. Honestly, just get a room. I missed one. Do you like bugs? Do you know what? Actually, my bedroom is actually the room that I'm in right now. Is really bad on getting just a random ladybird or a ladybug, if you're American, just coming in. And every now and again, I just look over and it's like, oh, there's a ladybird on my keyboard, and I have no idea how you got there. So I do everything in my power to make sure I save that ladybird. And spiders I'm very comfortable with, bugs I'm very comfortable with, which I think is a good trait to have. I'm very much one of those pacifist types that saves anything I can if I can. I feel very guilty if I can't. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and ignore Nye and Suze in the chat. They've got their own thing going on. Really quickly, last questions before I wrap this up. I should make a bug song. Well, you know what? There's definitely a potential in there. I love writing songs that are like based on one theme, and all of the lyrics are like puns or references to that one theme. It's K-pop 101 for writing stuff, and it's something that I love to do. Do you know what? I'll take it. Ladybirds are a lucky sign, and do you know what? They started coming around when I started releasing Pray to Me. So do you know what? I'll take it. Are you cooking something good? What are Susan 9 talking about? I don't even know what they're talking about. Even I kind of do know what they're talking about. But it's best to ignore them because they've got their own inside jokes that no one really understands, and they only half understand. Am I cooking something good? I think Amaru, which will be the next song that will come out, I think it's going to be really nice. It's another one of those ones. It's simple. It's saccharine. It's as I said, simple. Not nearly as complex as Pray to Me, but it's still an earworm, and it's still one of those ones that gets you moving. And it's like, do you know what? This is a little bit of fun, and I like writing songs that are a little bit of fun. If they keep going on about this inside joke that they keep on thinking, I might demod them. Well, ruin 7 years worth of friendship in one fell swoop. Just really quickly do that. Cool. Oh, there's pop-ups showing up, so I can't actually see. These gowns sound like a fun time. Well, they are certainly a time. that's for sure. I mean, I've stuck with them for all of this time, so they're definitely. Susie just messaged me on the DM. Entomologist Teto. Hey, you know what? It could be, yeah, Teto as an entomologist just gushing about the favourite bugs that she's got and how interesting they are, and then finding a bug-loving partner in the quest to find the perfect ladybird. Hey, let's brainstorm. Let's get a piece of paper down. Let's get some writing. Some lyrics down. Let's get some rhymes going. We could spend all night doing this. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the fact that they've got wrenches next to their name means they've got too much power, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me. Okay. Final questions. Really quickly wrap them up. Again, firstly, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. Again, if you're listening post-stream, thank you very much for coming and listening to this as well. I don't know if this will be up for long, but we'll see how it goes. I really enjoyed making these Q&As because it's very helpful. One thing I would love to do in the future is write a song, or either start writing a song on here, or be in the middle of the process of writing a synth song on here, just to show you how I do things. How I do different bits of production, what I've learnt over the time, explain what I'm doing, the effect that I want to do. Obviously, quite a lot of the plugins and VSTs that I've got are expensive, and it costs a lot of money, and and so you can't perfectly replicate it. But everyone started on free VSTs. Everyone started on ones that you can get for cheap, or with sample packs you can get for free. It's I can tell you, I can break down what I'm doing, and I'll happily show you that process, because I'd have killed to have that experience when I was in the position that some of you early producers are in, to be able to be like, oh, that's a great thing to learn, that's a great thing to know. Vocal processing is one of the things that I love doing. I'll show you my vocal processing, especially for synth Vs and voice synthesizers, and how I process those and make sure they sound a little bit poppier, and for the song that they fit. Orchestral arrangement, string arrangement, that is my jam. Love doing that. Show you how I do that kind of thing, the emotion that you do from it. Yeah, but that's a to be it's not continued, but it's what's the word? Oh my god, to be decided. I don't know. TBD. Can you tell that I'm slowly running out of energy as it's slowly becoming 1 a.m. for me? You know, what can you do? But all in all, thank you very much for all of the views and all of the subscribers. Thank you very much for all of the kind words that you've been sending through in the chat as well. It has really means so much to me, and the joy of waking up every morning and seeing thousands of more views on the track and so many more comments of just pure adoration. It's it blows me away, but it not only doesn't it blow me away, but it also makes me want to keep making more. So I will keep making more. Just gotta finish some things off first. I hope everyone has a good evening. I hope everyone has a good rest of their weekend. I hope next week brings you so much joy and happiness, and the week after next is my birthday week, so I'm going to be very joyous and happy for that. I hope things go your way. I hope you have a nice interaction with nature. I've been looking at the birds out in my garden. It's absolutely peaceful. It's brilliant. And yeah, have a lovely time. Keep in contact. You know where to find me. I'm here, there, and everywhere most of the time. I can't finish these things properly. I can't succinctly finish these things. Often I make people disconnect me from Discord calls because I can never wrap up in time. I always just go around and round in circles. So I'm going to forcefully put my cursor over the end stream button and say good night. Have a lovely night, and see you for the next one, wherever that may be. Oh, that's another thing. Bye.